welcome back to the Artie Lange Show. Talking with anthropologist and TV and everything personality, Natalia Reagan. Let's talk a little bit about Bigfoot. Okay, and you're a scientist. You said during the commercial I asked you, you said you're a skeptic, but give me the actual data we have about either argument, either way. What's going on with that?
Okay, well, there's a community that they call themselves Squatchers. They actually go out and spend, countless hours looking for Bigfoot or Sasquatch in their area of the United States, which honestly, our show, $10 Million Bigfoot Bounty, filmed in the Pacific Northwest. However, there's Squatchers all throughout the United States, Maine, Florida, Kentucky.
I was going to say, why is the Pacific Northwest considered the spot? Like, why is that?
There have been lots of sightings, and I don't know, who knows particularly why. Maybe he's there, and that's why there's a lot of sightings.
Was there an original sighting that's on record?
No, there's the most popular go-to sighting, which is the Patterson-Gimlin film, which you've probably seen. I always like to dissect the film because it's supposed to be a female. They always say it's a female
Sasquatch.
Sasquatch.
Walking away, looking back.
Exactly.
Hasn't that been confirmed as a hoax, though? It has,
yes,
right?
but I always make a point because we've talked about how I have studied the lady lumps, bosoms. It's supposed to be a female.
Huge breasts.
Yeah, huge breasts that do not move.
Yeah.
Now, I'm sorry, I'm a woman of smaller stature, do not have huge bosoms. However, I know that when I walk sans bra, those things move. Right. So if this is a larger Sasquatch
you're talking
with
triple
voluptuous
D.
tatas, bodacious pair, they don't move. And they're also pretty high and tight. It almost looks like she took a trip to Dr. Schwartz and got that stuff lifted because they look, and this is a mature female. Now, if this was a juvenile, if this was supposed to be some, a Sasquatch coming into age, I could maybe understand this, but it looks to me very fake. And so that for me, and that's supposed to be one of the, go-to videos. There have been reports of seeing Sasquatch for hundreds of years. From tribes have talked about seeing Sasquatch. So it's not
Americans.
Exactly. It's not just the white Europeans that have come to the United States that have seen this. In fact, there's the Yowie in Australia. There's a lot of squatchers, or not just squatchers, but those that are looking for bipedal hominids in different parts of the world. The Himalayas, you've got the Yeti. So I think this,
the Yeti, which is like a snow monster.
Yeah, it's like the abominable snowman. If you've seen Rudolph.
Yeah, right.
Well, that makes a little more sense.
Yeah.
Like because we're talking about the Himalayas. I mean, that's like
Well,
you're talking 30,000 feet.
And it's
at altitude.
in
So
Rudolph.
rugged.
It's documented in Rudolph.
yes, and it was a very cool.
Bumbles can dance. Look at what he can do.
Exactly, and I also had a fear of him in the Matterhorn at Disneyland as a small child.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
Yeah.
weird fears that came
It's
up for
scary.
me.
His shadow.
No, I
is
just think
scary.
you were a normal child. That's scary.
Probably, but yeah, I definitely think there's a desire to look for something that is like us, but that is also different from us. Like the ultimate, like we talked about, the ultimate King Kong.
Well, we're looking for that missing link between the close relative between us and the primates. That
I don't know why there's such an
But I
interest in
always,
that. But
well, and I always, someone actually asked me that recently about the missing link, and I said, well, which one? I mean, there is a missing link between humans, Neanderthals, missing link between the common ancestor between chimpanzees and humans, missing link between Homo erectus and anatomically modern humans.
what's Homo erectus? What is that?
Homo erectus was a hominid that was closely related to humans that actually they think lived I think up to my paleoanthropology is not the best, but probably
it's like 1 million.
40. No. I think even as early as 60,000 years ago in
Homo erectus?
Homo erectus, Zacudian caves. I'd have to double check that, but we'll see. But yeah, Homo erectus was actually larger than anatomically modern humans. Quite large, and lived all throughout the Middle East and parts in Asia and Java. There's actually in Indonesia, Java man was a Homo erectus. So yeah, I mean there were several.
They were bigger than us.
Yeah, they were actually.
I would assume they
larger
were.
than us.
But how much
European
bigger?
cases.
No, because
Not
like
much
the
longer,
first,
not much taller. But I mean, and that's the thing is, anatomically modern humans have varied in size throughout the years. I mean, and in different areas. The average height varies, but from country to country.
Yeah. Well, I thought they were small because, like Lucy, the first hominid was tiny.
That's an Australopithecus afarensis.
Yeah.
That's 3.4 million years old, and that is, yes, much smaller, much closer to the common ancestor between chimpanzees in anatomically modern.
Yeah.
Or not, well, in chimpanzees and the next hominid that was an upright walking biped. So that is far older and much smaller, much closer, and looked more like, morphologically more similar to what a chimpanzee would look like, facially and also, postcranial, the body.
What about I'm sorry. Yeah.
So Homo erectus, I didn't know this, but we're talking Neanderthals. You're saying there should be a common ancestor between us and the Neanderthals?
Well, there's actually now they're talking. There's proof that there is
They're
actually
saying we had Neanderthal DNA.
Exactly.
I have a thing
Did
that I
you
need to
do-
send in. No,
Did you do it?
I got the swab. I'm going to send it in.
I did mine.
I want to do it. Did you do it?
I got 25% Native American was my biggest surprise.
Really?
No Neanderthal.
Yeah.
None?
But a lot of women I've dated would say different, but no Neanderthal.
I'm fascinated.
You
I'm
can check.
sending
You can
mine
check for that. I got
Well,
you. I
no,
got some
this is
Yeti.
a new thing.
I'm part Yeti.
Yeah. This is a new thing that I
I'm
forget
Yeti to
who's
believe it.
doing it. Yeah.
Sorry.
I forget who's doing it. I think it's National Geographic is doing this thing.
It's
and you
there's
send it in.
23andMe. I have had friends.
23
Dr. Todd, who is
Percent?
no.
23?
No. It's a company called 23andMe.
Oh my gosh!
No,
I thought you just said there's 23% Neanderthal in me.
Holy
That's-
mackerel.
Wow. You are
That's a date.
sturdy.
They should,
then,
they should
right?
be doing Geico ads right now. Dr. Todd, who's my co-host on the show, the one with the mohawk, who is a dear friend, and he's actually the one that wrote me in on $10 million Bigfoot bounty. He actually got his Neanderthal
Results.
testing done.
What
I
is- how
can't,
much is
oh
he?
gosh, he's gonna kill me. I can't remember. I don't think it was 2. I think it was somebody else that was 2.9. He might have been more like 2.4. But he was very proud of it. Very
Yeah,
proud
I'm gonna
of
be
it.
very proud. I want to be like in the double digits.
Oh, stop.
Can you imagine that?
I don't know if that's.
The
physically
reason that I was
possible.
interested in anthropology is because I started growing these horns out of my head
The
when I was
supraorbital
like,
torus,
yeah,
your
my
big ass-
supraorbital torus was so gigantic,
What
and it
about-
kept getting
well,
bigger
yeah,
and
well,
bigger.
that's
I
what-
wanted to
Do you
know.
have
But you kept getting hit,
Am
though.
I?
You
I
kept
know,
getting hit in the
I know.
head.
If you have
And
bunning in the
normal-
back,
Bunting?
bunning, it's a sippitable bun, a sippitable bun.
I don't have.
Back here that,
maybe a little bit.
Yeah, the idea, I remember when I first, and I love, and that's the thing, I can't believe we're talking more about paleoanthropology than primatology, because that's what I love, and I actually went into primatology because I wanted to study living apes, but I love
Well, believe me, the audience can't
paleoanthropology.
believe we're not talking about the Knicks, so don't worry about it. But I'm fascinated.
Knicks.
I'm fascinated by all this. Is there a compelling argument anyone's ever made that like a real compelling argument that Bigfoot exists to you?
Well, I mean, I love when they have good arguments. I love when they have actual theories and they've done some research. One of the ideas is Gigantopithecus, which is a actual species of Miocene ape that Bigfoot is a descendant of Gigantopithecus. However, Gigantopithecus was a large-bodied primate that most likely walked on its knuckles and was a vegetarian.
Was there a difference between that and Australopithecus robustus?
Oh yeah, the robust Australopithecines. I'm so excited because I love robust Australopithecines.
He knows
make
a lot
me
about
happy.
it.
That's really good though.
Yeah.
High five. This guy is yeah.
I ate a lot of bugs.
Ethiopicus, Boise eye. I love it.
Yeah.
I actually have a bust of Australopithecus boise eye on my mantle.
Wow.
Yeah, so those were actually far older. They actually were contemporaries of early Homo. So they're right after
Early Homo?
Right after Afarensis.
Well, Afarensis,
Yeah.
exactly. And so there was a time where there was a radiation of Australopithecines and hominids, where there actually were.
What is
some
a
that were
hominid?
Basically, an upright walking. Yeah.
Okay.
And so, and we are part of that. And like I study, when I study primates, primates includes monkeys, apes, and humans. So, and that's why, when people always give me crap about, why do you study primates and who cares? And I'm like, well, we are primates too. So.
What's the big difference between a monkey and an ape? What's the difference?
Well, there's a lack of tail in apes.
Who has it? Oh, and monkey has a
Monkeys
tail.
monkeys have a tail. And there's actually difference in shoulder blade for swinging. Apes have a better, it's positioned differently, and it's
So they're better
They
at
can
it.
they're much
hang.
better
Right,
at
an
it.
ape's better at it.
Gibbons are brachiators. They're actually true brachiators. Spider monkeys are not quite true brachiators, although I still love them just the same. Meaning they can swing very quickly through the forest, but not quite with the stealth and majesty as I think gibbons. I jokingly call them the ninjas of the forest.
They're the best. The gibbons are the best.
They are amazing. I mean, the way they can
way they can swing.
swing through the They're the swingers of the forest.
Nice.
No, they actually are monogamous, although they have extra pair bonding on the side.
So there's
Wow.
so basically there's no real evidence that Bigfoot exists.
Not right now. I mean, and that's what the show was about. It was looking to find DNA and visual evidence, and that was kind of cool. We basically, Lloyd's of London put forth a $10 million a prize if you had DNA and visual evidence. And the great thing about the show and what I loved is that we actually had a mobile DNA lab that Dr. Todd designed, where my job on the show was to teach these contestants how to correctly collect biomaterials and bring them back to us, and we actually were able to analyze them in this mobile DNA lab and determine within 3 to 4 hours whether or not it was non-human primate DNA that was different from living apes, and that would kind of lead us to the next step to figure out if this could be Bigfoot DNA. And then we also needed visual proof because, of course, it's television, and they want that sort of visual component. It's spectacle.
Right. Yeah.
And the great thing is these contestants were very smart. I was constantly impressed. We had one contestant who was a biologist who, if I'm ever lost in the forest, I used to always joke, I want you on my team because you know what you're doing. I mean, he knows what to eat, when to eat it, how to survive. A lot of them were hunters. I'm the tree-hugging hippie of the group. I'm a vegetarian, but these guys, I mean, they know how to track animals, hunt animals, and I respect that. Right. And I respect their passion because they all had some really interesting theories. But the cool thing was I got to tell them about primate information, and they were able to take that information, digest it, and amend their theories if they wanted to. So they were thinking like scientists. And I used to joke, hey, if you guys don't find Bigfoot, you guys all can become conservation biologists and hang out with me.
That's not a good living.
So this gave you a vehicle to kind of convey your ideas about primatology to guys who maybe wouldn't have been open to that.
I got guys that
From the
probably
get-go.
might not ever use the word hypothesis to use the word hypothesis, and I was happy.
Yeah.
Well, that's something that you should be proud of because I refuse to say it. But hypothesis.
Please?
Hypothesis. Well, listen, we got to roll, but listen, this was fascinating. Come back again.
Yeah, and I was going to say, I know I didn't get to talk about it, but I make science comedy videos if you want to check any out.
Yeah, how do we do that?
NataliaReagan.com. There's a new web series called Talking Shit with Dr. Todd and Natalia that I write and produce.
NataliaReagan.com.
Yeah.
And that's how you find the funny videos.
And you find the funny boobs and butts. We didn't get to talk about that,
Yeah, the evolution of
You'll
boobs
like
and
them.
butts.
Yeah, okay. And the new
Like
age
why we have that.
and new age girls, is it? Something
Yeah,
like-
I have a web series called New Age Girls that is going to be a hilarious kind of mock reality show. It's newagegirls.tv. You can check that out. It's
And
for
that's
New
April,
Age Girls.
right?
Yeah, 420.
Right.
Check us
Yeah.
out. We're going to be launching, and it's a great way to, make fun of reality TV, but kind of bring some social awareness to hot chicks at Ojai.
Well, thanks, Natalia. Best of luck with everything. Come back again.
Thank you so much. I'd love to.
Natalia Reagan.
The Artie Lange Show, weeknights on Audience, only on DirecTV.